Hello.
Hello. You want to know the good news?
Do I?
We have flattened the fucking curve. Or it lows. Oh, do not celebrate just yet, because the curve requires constant vigilance. And you know how we're going to do that constant vigilance?
I don't know.
We're going to install apps on our phones that track all of our movements. Now, do not speak, because I know that you very much enjoy having your movements tracked and your liberties taken away from you in the name of public health.
I do.
So, do you want to know how this app works?
Yes.
Do you have any idea how it might work?
No. Lay it on me. Lay it on me. Sell me this app.
Okay, so we're using a Bluetooth. You're going to have your data encrypted. As you're walking around, you will be passing people who also have the app.
Yeah.
Those two apps will ping and it'll be like, oh, I passed you and you passed me.
We came into contact on the record.
Just like Pokemon Go, but coronavirus-y.
Coronavirus Go.
Exactly.
Right.
So, worst case happens, you get coronavirus, you present to like the doctors, the hospital, wherever. They're able to go to a database where they can see the encrypted, but let's be honest, it's not going to be encrypted. It'll be hackable by a 12-year-old. So
If there's one thing we can trust the government with, it's our data.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So the government and 12-year-olds will be able to access your data, but they'll have a database of all the people that you interacted with, and they'll be able to very easily trace the people that you passed by while you were coughing and sneezing your germs everywhere.
Right, so if I've had a pizza in a car with 5 other guys, and then 4 days later, it's a normal thing to do. We're all waiting for a mate.
Facing forward, everyone's got horse blinkers on, so you don't have to look at each other while you're feeling greasy.
But you can hear the chewing. So I find out a week later that I have coronavirus. I'm like, oh no. And the doctor goes, presses a button on the app, and then all the people I was in the car with get ping! Hey, this guy might have given you the coronavirus. You better get checked too.
You know, I don't know if they will go to the extent of like using the app to do like a push notification to be like, you have coronavirus. I think it's more like they will take the list of names, like an old Video Easy store clerk, and literally call each individual line and be like,
get a call.
I think,
imagine. You know, you think everything's going fine, and oh, what's going on? A phone call? I always welcome my phone ringing. I'll be like, you may have the coronaviruses. So, oh no! So, do all of the people who then get that message, do they press a button and the system goes and checks everyone they've had contact with? This seems like an incredibly complex network of human interactions, except of course there shouldn't be any because we're all inside isolating.
Look. Some smart science network people,
some
I'm sure, some egghead, some nerd has probably figured this out. Look, the point is, I don't know specifically from when they've stored the data to like how they plan to do the contact tracing. I believe it would be an internal thing where they're contacting people directly. I don't think the app is sending out a push notification.
Some
like,
call
Alex,
center
Alex.
of underpaid stooges working very closely next to each other.
I don't know. So again, it's modeled on this. It's modeled on a version that's worked in Singapore. Again, I feel our cultural sensibility is adverse to this type of thing. Even though, lest we not forget that in 2018 they did pass laws that essentially made us all fucking trackable using GPS, and Facebook, Google, probably Kmart already have your location data.
Why don't I mind giving it to Zuckerberg? Because in exchange I get the world's shittest collection of dumb opinions. So it's a fair exchange. But what's the government going to give me for signing up to this app? Safety from disease?
Yeah. Look, I think that...
But even then it's so retroactive, isn't it? Like it won't tell me in advance, oh, I'm going to go out with Steve for lunch. Bit of a sneaky quarantine break.
Just check.
And I don't get a message saying, ping, dude, don't have lunch with Steve. He's got the coronavirus. And then I'll be like, I'll cancel the meeting. So even then, all it is a complicated...
you would like a Minority Report, sort of a future crime version of the app?
Future infection, yes. I think, but even right now, I don't know if everyone infected is on a database. And you can, make plans to not go to work with that guy if you know he's got the virus.
I think that is going down, like, if we don't want to go down the path of being, like, GPS tracked or Bluetooth tracked location data, then I don't know that we want our health records to be, like, publicly accessible either, right? Like, that has got to have some stigma.
Well, again, if we can trust anyone with our data, it's the government, which is why I opted out of the My Health record.
Don't do that.
I always cross my arms when I'm angry about the man. Anyway, if you at home think that this app sounds like a great idea and you can't wait to sign up to have your
Smash the like button.
Smash the like button. Tell us in the comments below.
I have been doing so much coronavirus research for this beautiful documentary series that we're putting together for you.
Insightful news.
Some scientists, like I'm talking white lab coat, CDC, serious business scientists, have finally figured out that it's fine. Farts cannot give you coronavirus unless you take a sniff of the fart from a pantless person who's infected. Now, I don't know about you, but that to me says that farts can give you coronavirus, and for everybody who partakes in any kind of Dutch oven style games, that this is a massive issue. What is your comment and feeling on the fact that now farts are not fine?
Firstly, I demand to be given a window into the research process that discovered this. Because all I can imagine is people in lab coats and stuff putting their heads under doonas and other people farting in their face.
And over time, the lab coats become brown.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, look, firstly, any sort of, if you're close enough to experience someone else's farts, you are, pretty much breaching that social isolation rules anyway.
You must be in love.
So it's not like anyone who was practicing social distancing and they farted in a cup and then slid the cup across the desk and then I sniffed the cup. Come on!
I mean, that is probably happening in some workplaces, but not most.
But what I don't understand is I thought coronavirus was sort of restricted to the respiratory system. Like, you're not meant to be able to get it through blood.
Poos can give it to you.
But it's not bloodborne.
No, but it's
because otherwise, blood would be an issue as well. My understanding is it's not bloodborne. But, how does the virus survive the digestive tract? How does it end up in your bowel when there's no direct link between your lungs and your bowels?
Don't you remember really early on, and I'll have to substantiate these claims, but they were talking about how people who are living in shared apartment buildings in Wuhan were saying that there's a possibility that it was coming through the toilet tracks because it was coming through in poos.
I just thought it was coming through the air vents.
I thought poos.
I never heard poos.
Okay,
how does the coronavirus survive? Because what they are also saying, and the last thing I read from the CSIRO, link in the thing, is that their understanding is, like with food, you sort of wash the vegetables if you're handling them, but if you're just sort of eating them and swallowing them, it's kind of okay because your stomach acid will destroy the germ. So how does it get from there to there if you have coronavirus?
To answer that question,
steeped in your cells, including in your butt cells, and it just picks it up on the way out the door.
Everyone knows butt cells are just cell-shaped like a butt.
Yeah. It's I think perfectly healthy farts coming out, and then it just picks up a couple of bags of coronavirus on its way to your nose.
I think to really answer this question, we have to know what farts are, and I don't. So I don't know how to answer the question.
What they are is they're the gaseous byproduct of the chemical reaction that is digestion.
Okay.
All right. So it's like acid touches food.
Why does it smell?
And it's because it's breaking it down. It's like compost. It's like dismantling it on a cellular level.
I don't like
And some of it turns into nutrients, some of it turns into poo, and some of it turns into air. And the air you shoot out the back door. But I don't understand how the virus is in that air. And I've done no research, unlike you, and I'm going to read the notes on the article in the comments below. And I'm going to get to the bottom of this because I don't understand how it can live in farts. I'm a skeptic. I'm declaring myself a butt skeptic in relation to this thing you just said. I'm not calling you a lying piece of garbage. But
no, you give me a fart attack.
You might be a lying piece of garbage.
Oh.
But, in the meantime, maybe restrict farting in each other's faces. Unless unless it's sexual, or unless your mate is leaning forward to look at something extremely important at butt level, and it's too good an opportunity to pass.
It's his fault.
What are you meant to do? Not fart on your mate's head when he leans forward to look at the map? You have to.
You're human.
This is going to sound crazy, but recently we broke the rules.
Ooh.
See, it's terribly off-brand. And, just so we don't end up like that Facebook couple who got fined for sharing photos of last year's holiday. Anything we say moving forward, it's we're just making it up for the sake of the video.
Hilarious joke.
It's a work, okay? So everything we say now, not true. Anyway.
Is that how the law works?
Absolutely. It's called...
That's how my farts work. Wait.
It's called plausible deniability. We went for a drive Now, we went for a couple of reasons. One is we just hadn't been outside in about a month and wanted to know what was happening.
It was 6 weeks.
6 weeks for you, 4 weeks for me because I did a food run. You were starting to worry that maybe you were developing agoraphobia and wouldn't be able to go outside.
I also wasn't sure that I could drive anymore.
Yes, you weren't sure if you knew how to drive anymore.
I've been driving for like 100 years, but I was kind of like, is it click and the...
How does this work?
Yeah.
So we went outside and what did we discover?
I mean, that maybe we're insane because I think I went outside and I just saw people at Kmart. Like, we did a drive-by of Kmart to be like, is Kmart open? Of course it fucking is.
Things looked pretty regular.
I did see a guy, we just saw a guy getting arrested on the main street, but he might have just been getting arrested for normal stuff, not COVID stuff.
Possibly, yeah. He looked like he was maybe committing general scumbag crimes, not corona scumbag crimes. Yes, so I, for one, was disappointed that it wasn't people in hazmat suits everywhere, flashing yellow lights, emergency tents set up. I wanted it to look like Armageddon.
Why do we want it? It would be more validating if it was more crazy.
I think so. I think there was a quality of, are we fucking idiots for taking this so seriously?
We've been going outside.
Are we missing out? We could have done more stuff.
I could be playing with my drone in the park.
I guess we expected to see... like, not the end of civilization, but I think... Not
the rapture.
Yeah, but I could have stood to see a bit more
rapture-y
validation of our decision to take this shit seriously.
Like some FEMA tents, a little bit of red and yellow lights, like maybe some more army police situation.
Yeah, I could use, the National Guard.
Yeah.
I reckon if as we pulled out of the driveway, if a cop car had pulled in front of us and be like, where you going, son? And we would have gone, going to Kmart to buy some tat. That would have been a good citizen. Get out. Yeah, but I think we expected it to be more fraught, less normal, and admittedly, we do live a couple of hours out of the city. So, I don't know.
Maybe the city's like that. There. I don't think so. I think it's probably that it isn't that nuts.
But so I think we would like to hear from people, anyone out there, and make a new profile so you're anonymous so the man doesn't get you. We'd like to hear from anyone who's kind of taken the position of, it's all bullshit, it's all a work, it's a 5G conspiracy, and you're just going about your lives. Okay, particularly people towards urban centres. We'd like to know what's it like out there, because we're not going to test it because we don't get coronavirus because that shit's for chumps. Let us know if you're bucking the trend, if you don't give a fuck, if you think it's all a scam. Tell us what it's like out there, because we probably won't go outside for another couple of months.
That is the end of this episode.
And my beer.
See, look,
so we're going to take it home.
We've got about 3 beers worth of content, so that usually means that's enough. If you like it, like the video. If you hated it, like the video. If you thought this was funny, share it with your friends. If you thought we were egregiously incorrect, share it with your friends.
If you think we don't know what the fuck we're talking about, tell us in the comments.
Yeah, tell us way off. I guess we'll see you next time, unless we die of coronavirus.
Woo!